Hey y'all, here's my essay for the March Madness because I don't want to get a 0, and I'm not a quitter. So here it is. In the Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, Plath utilizes societal pressure in the 1950s and symbols to portray the protagonist Esther Greenwood's battle between conformity and questioning. Esther Greenwood is a docile, shy college girl who has to conform to society due to peer pressure from her mother, her roommates, and her collegiate sisters. She is expected to excel in the writing program she is in, as well as manage her job at a popular magazine, as well as find a husband. These societal pressures, which don't have Esther's interests in mind, lead her to have an inner conflict. The setting in the 1950s is utilized to show the unattainable and dangerous expectations set forth for women. Her job, manhunting, and schooling really do get the best of her, and when she's almost raped, the internal questioning really starts. Esther is set out not to find a husband now, but to lose her virginity first, which defies societal pressures like gender roles, as pureness is an issue in the 1950s. Plath uses the symbol of a fig tree to show Esther's seemingly unattainable goals, as she's unable to reach them until they've fallen and gone. The symbol of the heart and the bell jar are used also to show inner conflict versus conforming to society. In the midst of decision-making to conform outwardly, Esther feels as though she's trapped in a bell jar, which is something usually put over delicate objects like the rose in the Beauty and the Beast. This perfectly symbolizes both conforming and questioning, as she's forced to be a spectacle on display and objectified as women were in the 1950s, but it also shows that she's trapped and cannot escape these unrealistic and undesirable goals set out for her. With mentally ill people often treated as objects and dehumanized, it also portrays the time period and Esther just not being able to escape. The bell jar is also somewhat a personified version of her mental health that is fragile and constantly looming. The heart and blood were also major symbols throughout the novel. While questioning her own existence, Esther often thought about killing herself, but could not, due to her own heart beating or braying, I am. She realizes while questioning her life that while she wants to what she wants to end is not necessarily her life, but something deeper than the thin blue lines that mark her wrist. She questions her life deeply and thoroughly throughout the novel. Though Esther fights minimally towards society, like trying to lose her virginity before marriage, all of this comes from the overwhelming pressure to conform, which leads her to question gender roles, her life, and her mental health. Sylvia Plath utilizes symbols such as the bell jar, the fig tree, and the heart and blood, as well as the time period in the 1950s to portray Esther Greenwood's conflict with herself versus society.